Welcome back, everybody. Tractor Chute's back. Tractor Chute relaxed, and Tractor Chute's ready to go. In the upper left-hand corner, we got ourselves SONTHEEVES representing Team Tractor Chute. Love it, respect it, own it, buddy. Here we go. Tractor Chute, Team Tractor Chute, being represented by SONTHEEVES. In the lower right-hand corner, it is pretty darn cool name. It is KakaKoka, KakaKoka, no, that's not right. Let's just go Kak. It is Kak in the lower right-hand corner with the blue heron here. Here we go. Let's get the baby up here. What do you guys want to start? Let's start 8 p.m. here. These are gold level players, so you expect it to be over 100. It is 170 to 140. Very, very decent. We're just going to sit back and enjoy this for a little while here as we pull up the production tab and see what kind of match we get here. It does look like SONTHEEVES is going to do the first bit of the scouting here. He's going to head across that map slowly but surely with that nice little probe here. Meanwhile, at the other end, we are getting somewhat of a wall off, I thought, but apparently he's just going to leave the supply depot and start doing some scouting of his own. Does look to me like Mr. Kak is going to start building himself that complete to the wall there, but the probe is going to get in time, so SONTHEEVES will get in there. He's going to look for the gas is what he's basically going to look for this early here. Wants to make sure he didn't go gas first, so he knows kind of what to expect there. Definitely not going to expect any early reactor with some Marines in it, which should leave them pretty darn happy if you ask me. Up here in the other area, we are going to have the SCV of Kak getting into the base here. Kak's going to see nothing out of the ordinary either. He's got a lot of patrol points down there. There's the gateway. It does look like he's caused a little bit of havoc here. Love it when people do this when they're playing Terran. I always recommend you start harassing the SCV that's doing the building at the wall there, because a lot of them don't know what to do at that time, and they might end up losing it. Delays them big time here. So very good move by SONTHEEVES there. Definitely much respect, my good man. He does get a gas down there. It does get double gas down there. Not entirely sure if Kak ended up seeing that here. Let's take a look here. Did Kak see the double gas? Kak sees one gas. So if Kak had seen the second, might have been a little bit different of a reaction. He might have known that we're going to get pretty gas heavy here. Maybe get into an early Stargate or something like that there. At least that's what I believe it would mean. I believe then he could get some tech pretty early here, but he did know that the cyber core wasn't down yet, so that did help quite a bit here. But the double gas early, you definitely look at the tech up pretty quick. Possibly get into Stargate earlier, maybe into some early Robo here. At the other end, it does look like he is going to elect to get a reactor first here, but like I say, he didn't go gas first, so we're already at the 4 minute mark by the time he gets that down here, so he's definitely not going to push hard with it. But then again, we have this SCV here. He's going to stare at it here. Apparently enjoys watching how that building builds. I kind of like to see that there. Nice and relaxed. He's dropping down some mules at the same time. Good job on the orbital command. Down the other end here, we do have the one Zealot out, so we will have some protection going on. Cybercore does finish up there. Have to imagine warp gate technology will fall it up here. We're going to take a little bit of a lag there. Thank you so much. And we do get a second gateway down, so very well done. There's the warp gate technology. Imagine that's going to start getting chrono boost at some point in time. Or maybe he's playing who can save the most chrono boost. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, he's probably busy doing something else, like looking at this Naga Tower. No, he's not. Apparently, it is Kak looking at the Naga Tower here. Kak's going to sit on that for a little tiny bit there. In the meantime, he is building up himself a command center. So looking to get into somewhat of a macro-heavy game. He's going to get the exploit right away here. Not going to do a one-base push by no means. Like to see that. People not trying to finish the game early. There's the chrono boost going out. There's still no chrono boost on the warp gate technology. But then again, he's a much higher league than me and most of his servers there. So I'm not going to argue with you, son. You probably got a plan for this. He is going to patrol those Stalker and Zealot, at least for a little bit of walk in there. Does have the couple Marines on the low ground here, so he can get ready to move that expansion down there. So very, very well done by him. He's getting the second barracks out there. Yes, he is. And we do have a couple sentries coming out. Very smart. Always good to get sentries nice and early for anybody that's new to playing Protoss. Get them out early. They can do some defense here. He actually did end up getting... Did you get a Reaper down there? I'm not entirely sure. But I do believe that was a Reaper that he had down there. Taking a look here. It was a worker. There you go. I just lied to you. He did have a worker down there at the other end there, so very well done. One worker kill, and is getting his expo at the same time here. So both these guys kind of got the same idea there. They're going to sit back and build themselves up here, getting a little bit more lag. I will have to maybe rub my computer a little better to get it going here. There we go. It is very hot in my room. Heat could be dying here, but it should be cool enough to run quite fine here. There we go. Second gas does end up going down there. Engineering bay, as you can see, is down as well here, so we will get that out. Probably look to get somewhat of some early upgrades, or at least start getting some upgrades. Bunker's going down, so he's really looking to turtle up a little bit here. If anybody can turtle, it is guard darn Terran, I tell you that much. They'll hide in behind a bunch of bunkers, and they'll drop down some tanks, and they're literally impossible to get into unless you get the right unit combination and the right attack points. one of the biggest troubles I have is getting in against Terran guys that turtle like that. It's really annoying. But he is going to get the forge down. He's going to get the robo down. So he is going to go into a robo build here. It's going to be a double. No, it is not. Double forge, but the single robo going down here. Does have the couple sentries down there with the Zealot and Stalker here. Already has the probes mining off the long distance there. So he already has the probes ready to go on that second base. So very well done there. Take a look up at the production tab. Turrets going down as well. Both these guys getting upgrades here. Have Stimpak coming down with the level 1 Terran infantry there, level 1 weapons, and the level 1 ground armor going down as well here for SONTHEEVES. So very well done. Both these guys very good with the upgrades. They are going to get down 2 bunkers, so really looking to get in behind these bunkers here. Have to imagine he might possibly look to tech into some tanks or some Widow Mines, whatever he's going to choose to do here. But he is doing very well so far. He's keeping up on his food count, both these guys, 46 to 40, so very good players so far here. And does look like he is warping in units now. Does have 1 more Zealot coming in. 4 sentry count now. Wow, good count on the sentries. Alright, just had to take 1 quick second away there. And other than that there, let's take a look at the army count here. We do have the 4 sentries, the 1 Stalker, and the 3 Zealots to the, what is that, a 9? That is 9 Marines and 2 Marauders there. Does do a scan up here, so knows what he's looking to expect here. Kind of has an idea that the Robo's out and the double forge, so he knows he's really pushing hard with the upgrades here. So it is going to help him out a little bit. At the same time, he knows he's got lots of time. He's going to put a missile turret up there, so he's really worried about some cloak or maybe some early Oracle. Who knows? Other way, did not see the Stargate go down, so might not be looking for the Oracle, but might just be looking just in case he does lay a Dark Shrine down somewhere that wasn't seen. Might be looking out for that. It's getting the Twilight Council, so he might actually get into some Darkies, or might go Blink or Zealot Legs. Really many options at this point in time. He's building up those Zealots pretty heavily here. Has 5 of them on the field now, and with the 1 Stalker to the 4 sentries. So very good unit combination. At the other end, he does have an Observer going in, so he is going to get a good idea of exactly what's at the other end. Sees the Widow Mine, so he knows Widow Mines are on the map here. And there are not any turrets up here at all. Wowzer, so no turrets going down here, so that could help him out a little bit here. He might actually look to do some harassment in the mineral line if he chooses to do so. And there goes the turret, so I think he did see the Observer there, so is being very careful. That's a pretty good build going so far. Doing a little bit of Marine Marauder. Here goes the Stargate. Are going to get into some medevacs. More Widow Mines getting ready to come out at this point in time. Way up here is mining, Chrono boosting them out like crazy here. Has double gas on the expansion too, so really going into that gas here. Double gas down here at the other end too. There we go. They do end up shooting at that Observer. Doesn't quite get the kill, so that does help him a lot. He will end up seeing the 2nd engineering bay go down there, so definitely getting some good intel at this point in time. Is not really too heavy on the Marauders here, keeping a pretty good balance there with the 4 Marauders and the 12 Marines there. Taking a look at his 39 to 38. Oh no, ends up losing that one there. That's no good. Poor Observer there. Does move out another Widow Mine, basically stretching himself, so he's kind of looking to start taking control of a good area of the map at the bottom here, so he kind of knows what's coming when it's coming. So very well done there. At the other end, we are running 5? Yeah, 5 gateways here, and the 1 robo facility he is looking to do a drop, so he does have Warp Prism coming out here. I don't know if this is before or after the new patch. I know the new patch did give a speed up buff to him there, so not entirely sure what's going to happen here, but either way, we are going to get the Warp Prism out here. And he is going with, I would have to imagine, possibly Colossi going against Marine Marauder. I'm not entirely sure yet. Doesn't have the Robo support facility down yet, so really has many options at this point in time here. And there we go. He has loaded up here. What did he load up with? 4 Zealots here. 4 Zealots will make their way across the map here. Still has the 1 Observer at the other end. So kind of knows what's down there. Really has this whole section of the map, and that's exactly where he's going. So he will be looking to drop down here. And we are getting a couple more barracks out here. Observer's moving over to make sure there's no towers over there. Or no turrets, sorry. Another command center going down. So he's looking to get his 3rd out. So that's really going to help for the intel as well. Could look to maybe do a 2-base push here before he gets too far ahead macro-wise here. And here we go. I do believe that this Warp Prism is about ready here. He is going to sit him on the outside for a little bit here and determine what he wants to do. If he does get him in there, they may be able to wreak a little bit of havoc because all the units are in the low ground, so might get a few SCV kills. He is electing to move a little bit here, being a little bit cautious here. He's not entirely sure where he wants to move in at this point in time. He's going to sit back, selects him one more time. Is he actually going to make the move this time? He's elected not to make the move. He's just playing around with his hotkeys here. Has another expansion, so he is elected to keep up with them. As I said, he does know that command center's there, I do believe, so that is helping him a lot. Yes, he does. Observer sitting there. And there goes the air turret, but now come the 4 Zealots here. They're going to drop down. They're going to get an SCV kill here. Are going to kill that turret. Oh, I do believe that did cancel. It's warping in a lot more here, so putting a little bit of pressure on nice and early here. A lot of Zealots. Speedlots are down the field here. This is going to be big trouble here. They're going to try and get a barracks kill, and no, he does get lifted off in time, so he probably will end up losing all these here, as that is a lot of Marauders down there. And he is going to be very close, so we'll get quite a few kills here. Have him warp in some more if he elects to at this point in time here. He's doing a very good move here. That does drop down those. Does have one burning here, so might want to look at repairing that barracks at this point in time here. There it drops down the other one on the reactor. Very well done. Good defend there. That's very impressive. Very well done by Kak. At the other end here, he's still macroing like crazy here. Really building up some buildings here. Very smart. Getting the 6 gateway down here. Still haven't teched in anything else. Going to stick with some gateway / robo type units here. Is going Templar though. Sorry, I did miss that. Is going Templar. Might be looking to go Archon with the amount of Templars that he has there, as he does have quite a few. Or could be elected to go to Storm here. Let's take a look. Where is his Templar Archives? There it is right there. He did get Storm already. Wow, he's way ahead of what I'm seeing tonight here. It is late. Wow. So very well done. He's electing to go with a heavy Storm build here. A lot of Templars, so that is very smart. Could be interesting here. Does get the Warp Prism across there, but does end up chasing her out of there before it can do anything else here. Or warping any more units. Might try to do a little bit more harassment here. There we go. Is that enough? Yes, it does give enough room there. And it will be a Zealot. Just one Zealot's going to run in here. Not entirely sure why he would send one Zealot in. Either way here, he doesn't get anything. Doesn't even get a shoot. Or slash with his super sword there. Either way, he ends up going down. Warp Prism finally says it's enough of this horse shit. There we go. Does scan down here, making sure the third's not down there. Not too sure if he knows about that third here. Let's take a look. Does he? No, does not know about that third base here. So definitely has that one hidden pretty good there. And is going to continue on here. Is going to stick with that many. Yes, he is. He's going to stick with these 7 Templars here. Not going to go any higher at this point in time. And does look like the Terran is doing what Terran does best. They're just going to turtle up here. Doesn't have any tanks yet, but is turtle pretty good here. With those Widow Mines and that amount of bunkers there, should be a pretty good turtle. But it looks like he might be looking to do a drop here, or at least move across the map here. He is going to possibly, I'm not entirely sure, have to imagine, yeah, I guess he is going to attack. Thought he might have looked at doing a drop here, but he's actually going to push here. So he's going to make his way across the map here, slowly but surely, with this pretty kicking arse army here. But at the other end, there's just way too many storms that are going to come down. They're going to move out. He does see the compilation here, and I do believe that will scare him a bit, because that will be a lot of storms that go down. Those Templars all have a lot of energy at this point in time here. Army is splitting up a bit. This might actually be deadly. Might hurt a bit. No, he backs off there. Very well done. He might actually get up here and get this kill in the base. If he does happen to go up there, he will see it. And they are kind of crisscrossing. Might turn into a base race here. I'm not entirely sure. But is he retreating? He might actually be looking to get back here. Has a lot of ghosts on the field, so might be looking to feed back with them here, which would be very, very smart maneuver here. And both these guys are kind of back and forth. They know where each other is here. Not entirely sure. He backs up, and they are going right for the base here. So he does stim them up there. They run up the base there. We'll get a lot of kills here. Oh, they did get warped in here. So he's going to try and get a kill in the Nexus here. Might end up trying to fly him off here. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, wow. Look at this massacre that army here. And here comes our Templars here. Here comes the Storm, I would have to imagine here. They're walking right in. There's the Storm. Walks his units right into it. Oh, that is a big kill. Wow. Walks right underneath his own Storm. They're trying to try the micro here. The micro really good, actually. Doing a decent job here. Killing a lot of units here. Wow, very well done. Does these elect to warp into Archons? I think that was probably his best move. Does jet the medevacs out. The medevacs are like, I'm getting out of this horse shit here. So they end up loading up a couple guys here. They're going to head out here. Does end up fending that off. Very well done by SONTHEEVES at this point in time here. He's going to have to run back, start turtling up a little bit more, I think, here. Did have a lot of ghosts. I didn't notice if he used the ghost for feedback. I don't think he did, though. And is scanning continuously. Now he knows the Archons are on the field here, so he might want to look out to get into some bulkier units, maybe start getting some siege tanks out there so they can actually fend them off here. Has his third out there. His third is healthy, but I do believe SONTHEEVES might be a little bit ahead. Let's take a look here. No, he is actually beating SONTHEEVES as far as the income goes there, so very well done by Kak. And looking at the other end, we do have some movement over here. Do have Warp Prism with the 1 Zealot here. Might look out and warping a few units on the high ground here, as I don't think he's ready on the high ground here. Here he goes. He is actually going to get warped in fairly good here, and is moving across with his army at the same time, and that is a very big army here. So if he gets enough units warped in here, it could be very big trouble. He is getting the Templars in here, so very smart. Might look to get an Archon out here. Oh no! Was that his siege tank? Something hit there really hard. That's big trouble here. This could be very big trouble. Needs to get a good Storm down here. Doesn't really have the energy. There's the feedback on the medevac. Doesn't quite do enough there. Ends up losing pretty much all those units. Warp Prism will end up getting out of there, but does have a big army in the middle here, and does have the 4 Archons there, so there's a lot of Archons there. They're going to take a lot of DPS and be a lot for him to deal with here. And he is warping in some more, so warping in some support units. Does end up getting some Zealots with some Templars in there. Templars, of course, are doing what they should, and they are warping in the Archons here, so very well done by SONTHEEVES. He's going to look to push at this front door here, and there isn't a lot. Nothing in the bunkers. A little bit surprised. He needs to get in those bunkers to at least help him a bit here, but those Archons are going to do a lot of damage. That is a lot of Archon power. It is 3-3 on upgrades. Wow, very impressive. It is 2-3 for upgrades for Kak, though, so he's doing very well himself here. So we'll try and get in. No siege tanks on the field, so that could be a little bit of trouble here. Zealots are trying to use their speed here. They're all going to get in here. Archons are going to try and take out what they can here. They're working through the bunkers here, doing a lot of damage here. Does bring in the hallucinated Colossi there, so very, very smart move to take up some of this DPS here. We'll push very, very hard. I do believe these Archons should be enough to clean this up here. They do a ton of damage. Does have that 1 Colossi, and they are focusing the Colossi, the hallucinated Colossi. So very good move by SONTHEEVES. think that was a very, very smart move here. He did take a lot of DPS by having that hallucinated Colossi on here. The Ghosts are still in the field. Ghosts end up going down here. Here we go. He might actually have to push to finish him off here. Does warp in some more speed lots here. Speed lots going to get in the base here. That should pretty much be the end of him here. It is 93 to 33, and Army does say GG. Good try, CAC. My condolences to you, CAC. My congrats to you, SONTHEEVES. Very good game there. Gold versus gold game. Appreciate everybody for watching. Send your replays and your challenges in, hopefully before tomorrow. Send your replays in at any point in time. I will leave you with this. If a Z's not on your keyboard, please don't let the cat meow, because the grass ain't growing any faster. Thanks so much for watching. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.